Millennials now make up the majority of the population, and many of them will be the benefactors of wealth in the future decades. It's critical to focus on the usefulness of practical financial management skills and overall financial literacy because of these variables. These tips offer practical advice and techniques in some key areas to assist millennials in developing knowledge and competence in the area of financial planning and management. Welcome to our channel, The Money Bender. Subscribe and let's dive in. Guys, remember, these are not advice from financial experts, but these are some of the valuable ideas that could pave the way to improve your personal finances. Millennial money saving tips. Number 1. Pay yourself first. The most crucial financial advice is probably to pay yourself first. When you get paid, you put money aside for your future self. It's a straightforward idea. You put money into savings before paying bills, getting groceries, or doing anything else. It's easy. Even automated transfers can be set up to save you from having to remember to do it each month. Your own financial situation will determine what you do with the money you have left over after saving and paying your bills. You'll have greater freedom if you're unmarried and not in debt. To balance, you might have to give up part of your personal finances if you live in a high-cost area. Number 2. Set concrete savings goals. The second money-saving advice is to visualize and manifest. By visualizing your long-term objectives, you may maintain your motivation and avoid the need to spend your savings now. Having specific savings objectives could also prevent you from making purchases that, although not necessarily disappointing, leave you wishing you had saved more money instead. For example, whether to buy anything while in the fitting room or checkout queue, or something like thinking about a vehicle to buy once you have earned the down payment. Number 3. Find ways to reduce spending or increase income. This topic is very interesting in the money spending habits of millennials, and it is frequently believed that they spend carelessly. Did you know that when millennials reach the same age as baby boomers, they spend more on their smartphone bills? Who would have guessed? Of course, it's beneficial to frequently analyze your bank statements and revisit your budget in order to identify areas where you may cut costs. Spending notifications and other budgeting tools that keep track of expenditures are useful for everyone. These precautions may also assist you in detecting credit card fraud or other banking scams as soon as they happen. Number 4. Keep separate accounts for various purposes. It helps to be able to quickly check how much money you have saved for each goal now that you can view them. Additionally, it can be beneficial to use several accounts for each of your primary savings objectives. Not all bank accounts are suitable for all savings objectives. Your emergency funds should be kept in a savings account for easy access. Examine whether purchasing CDs or starting a CD ladder could enable you to benefit from increasing interest rates while preserving your financial flexibility. Investigate your investing options if you wish to save larger amounts of money for longer periods of time to prevent inflation from depreciating your savings over time. Now let's talk about how to invest in your future. Establishing both short and long-term financial goals. The process of identifying goals and then making financial plans to achieve those goals may seem difficult to some people. Additionally, for some millennials, modifying their outlook to include long-term financial goals may be difficult because they frequently must manage a number of more needs and goals, such as post-secondary education, marriage, homeownership, or starting a family. Creating a structured savings plan. You have to understand the value and significance of creating a savings plan, no matter the type or range of objectives you have established and are working toward. A pre-authorized contribution plan, in which money is automatically deducted from paychecks and transferred into investments or savings accounts, can help to achieve this. Generally speaking, allocating 3 to 10% of your earnings to savings is an appropriate place to start. It's essential to review the amount or percentage that goes into the account as your paycheck grows over time and make any necessary adjustments. It's important to realize that establishing your short and long-term financial objectives is a great place to start for achieving them. In addition to identifying them, there is plenty of evidence that indicates writing down goals improves your chances of success. Establishing and following a budget. A realistic spending plan should be created in addition to developing and using a budget. There are several internet tools and apps available nowadays that can be used for budgeting. The drawback of these tools is that, despite their possible value and convenience, you cannot make your spending decisions for yourself. Rather, they function more as a tracking tool. This is where having a clearly defined spending plan is so important, since it gives you a way to verify your spending before you buy something or decide on another course of action. The best spending plans are those that truly reflect what people can spend and are developed in accordance with the defined short and long-term goals. In this way, a good spending plan serves as a helpful reminder of your goals and objectives and helps you become more accountable and careful while making financial decisions. Understanding different types of debt and evaluating the advantages and disadvantages of investing against paying off debt. Many people struggle with this issue because it is widely believed that paying off debt should always come first. The most important thing to understand, however, is that not all debt is created equal. As a result, people should be aware of the many forms of debt. They should compare the interest rates on those debts to the rate of return on assets. Due to the non-deductible nature of the interest, credit cards are an example of a debt that should be paid down in full first. On the other hand, some debt, such as some student loans, has an interest that is deductible from taxes and may be considered a debt to put off paying down. Generally speaking, the cost of borrowing against the return on investment should be taken into account when deciding where to invest. If your after-tax return on investments is higher than your after-tax cost of debt, investing may be the most advantageous choice. Note: it's important to speak with a knowledgeable tax counselor to make sure your unique circumstances have been correctly evaluated. This is the end of this video. Thank you for joining us, and ensure you stay tuned into the Money Bender. Follow for more.